Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Wynn,
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in every market. Hey, today, guys, we've got returning guest and co-host, Clint Ritchie. And Clint, you always have the coolest people. Who'd you bring along with you today, brother?
Man, I brought a international rock star because she's a great world traveler. Her name is Leonor Miranda. She serves the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina market, and she's just a rock star in what she does, so I'm excited to have her on board.
Man, great. Thanks for coming on, Leonor.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
We're so excited to have you here and talk about World Traveler. So we talked a little bit about your background in the green room, but let's let the world know, your audience knows who you are, but let's let our audience know you a little bit. Where are you from originally?
I'm actually from Peru, South America. I grew up there and I moved here when I was 18 years old. And I've been in the States ever since, moving around through different states, mainly Florida and now Myrtle Beach.
Well, you said the States ever since. I think you had another patch somewhere else, though, right? Didn't you maybe hit the down under?
Yes, I used to split my time between Florida and Massachusetts, specifically Martha's Vineyard. I used to have a business there, and that's basically summers there and winters in Florida. And around the pandemic time, I lived in Vieques, Puerto Rico for 2 years as well. So yes, I like to travel.
We love it. We love it. So as a little girl in Peru, you grew up and you always wanted to be a real estate agent.
I would say that my traveling experience brought that into me, my curiosity into the value in land, my personal need for learning and educating myself about real estate so that I can have my own real estate portfolio was what brought me into it. And then the more I got into it, I realized that there's a community out there of Spanish people, because I obviously speak Spanish, that need the information. And as soon as I dove into it, I realized that was a market in my area that could use my help. So a lot of my clients are Spanish-speaking clients, and I mainly focus on educating them so that they know exactly what they're doing through the process, giving them the information so that they can make the best decision for them and their family.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So talk a little bit about Myrtle Beach. We know a little bit about the area. Definitely a beautiful place here in the States. What made you decide, to represent that location? You traveled all over the place. Why'd you settle in Myrtle?
I would say it was by faith. I did not really plan to do it. I was looking for a change at the time. And when I came here, it was the perfect balance between sunshine, not too hot like Florida, and not as overpopulated and busy as Florida is. We have seasons here, the high tourism during right now the summertime, but then during the winter we get to enjoy a little bit of peace and quiet while having temperatures that are still allow us to go outside and enjoy outdoor activities. And now the Myrtle Beach market, I feel like everybody kind of discovered that secret and is starting to come here and move from all over the place, mainly from up north, and just buying and living here because it's really nice. You have access to the beach, but you also have access to mountains if you want to, go for a hike and everything, something that we don't really have in Florida. We have to come all the way into North Carolina to be able to enjoy the mountains. So it's very close. You get in your car, you drive 4 hours, you have the Blue Ridge Highway, and you can go hiking and get lost in the mountains. But if you want the beach, it's right across the street. So you have a nice balance.
Yeah, Dave and I had the pleasure of getting up to the North Carolina mountains earlier I guess it was late last year.
Yep.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning. It's breathtaking up there.
Yeah, so Lenore, a lot of people don't realize this, but Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is a top 10 city in the United States of growth of people moving to. So what does that look like? It's how many people are moving from out of state as compared to locally,
I don't have an actual number in my head, but I know that we're one of the top cities from people moving from up north. Me personally, I deal with a lot of people from New York, Ohio, California. I have investors from California, from Tennessee, New Hampshire, coming here and basically selling their home, their home and then coming here, saving some money and buying a big house. So our market here is growing. Our prices are going up, but they're nothing compared to the markets in other areas. So it's a really good place to come invest. The quality of life here in Myrtle Beach is really relaxed. One of the biggest comments of my clients is like, everybody's so nice here. Everybody's kind of like in a vacation mode. And he's like, well, we really don't need to rush. We work, we pay our bills, and we go to the beach. So, yeah.
I was going to say, let's talk on that real quick. So price point's good. It's going up a little bit, but it's definitely more reasonable there than a lot of places in the U.S. But there's another attracting point there too. It's taxes,
yeah, right? Some of the lowest in the country in taxes. So if you're moving from any other state, you're giving yourself a raise.
Yes, taxes for sure. When my clients see the taxes on their property, they have like a moment of, oh my God. So the first happy moment is when they come here, sell their house, and they see how much they can buy with the profits they made for their house. And then they see the taxes and they're like, okay, I think we made the right decision.
Yeah.
So
why not buy two, right? Hey, we'll just get one for me and one to invest in,
You know what? That's what a lot of people do. So when they're back home working 3 jobs to pay for one house and they can sell that house, come here, pay lower taxes and buy multiple properties and increase their portfolio and create wealth for their family, why not?
So let's talk about that. You've got the beach life, we know, hence Myrtle Beach, right? But what else does the city have to offer? Is it just beach area, or is there, countryside and other places, for what kind of opportunities do we have there?
So it's interesting because the Grand Strand is about, if I'm not mistaken, 60 miles of beachfront, but we also have areas that are a little bit on the west side of everybody knows Myrtle, but the way that our growth has happened is from Myrtle, it kind of like expands. So we have other areas that are 30 minutes from Myrtle Beach, 45 minutes from Myrtle Beach, and you feel like you're in another place, but you're still close to the beach, like Conway, Aner. Every little city has a very different vibe. Like Conway, it's kind of like a historic area, older homes, brick homes. When you go to Murals Inlet, it's more like the fisherman's town. It's a completely different vibe when you go there. So you can be living here, but every town next to us has a different vibe. And it just depends of, which is why it's very important for people to come and to explore different areas and see where their family will actually be, the most comfortable. Some areas where you can buy your home and you can have a lot of land around it. Some areas that are subdivisions and your neighbors are going to be very close to you. So those are things that you have to keep in mind. Mm-hmm. Well,
let's talk about this, because, pre-COVID, there's a lot of business going on. A lot of people are having great success during COVID. Now, post-COVID, we've got a lot of agents out there that aren't having success. We've seen your numbers. You're not a native to Myrtle Beach. How are you having this great success in this industry? You've got other agents out there that are looking for answers. What can you share with them? How are you creating your business?
It's funny you say my numbers. You probably know my numbers better than I know them because I don't really look at that. What drives me is the people. What drives me is the service. And for me, if I can help somebody find their home, find the path, even if you're not ready, I just talk to people. As many people as I can. I love doing open houses. That's actually how I basically, started my business, doing open houses every weekend. And obviously, I do have an advantage. I have 2 different markets that I work with. So the Spanish-speaking community, I focus on educating them, helping them. And like I told you, I think that nobody can make a wrong decision if they have all the information on the table. So I do that for my clients. And it's just that. I just talk to as many people as I can and try to put myself out there and just be helpful.
Where do you find these people you're talking to? You're just running into people on the streets and saying, hey, you want to buy a house? How does that work?
So like I said, I do a lot of open houses. So that's where, people that are moving in the area, they just come and they just look for, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about this neighborhood? They're really not ready, but they're looking into a year or 2 years. So those are the people that I connect. I do door knocking sometimes when I'm doing open houses. I go around the neighborhood just for people to know who I am and what I do. A lot of my clients, they refer me a lot, so I have people who I work with, and they tell their people, and then they come and they invest. Because the thing is, when you work with people from up north, when they buy their home here, their condo or their home, I always tell them, you make sure you have an extra room, because you're going to somehow have a lot of friends that are going to come and escape, from the winter, and then they're going to see this and they're going to be like, oh my God, how do I get in here? And then that's when I come into the equation. And, having conversations with people and just telling them, because for me, selling Myrtle Beach is very easy because I believe in it. I believe that it's a market. Right now, if you go anywhere you go, especially Florida, the market over there is very high and salaries are really not going up. So for people it's a choice. Do you survive or do you live your life? And do you create wealth for your family later on? So I believe that Myrtle Beach is a good opportunity right now to do that.
That's very wise words. Those are very wise words, because you're right. Are we living to work, right? Or are we working to live, And at the end of the day, you just gave some golden nuggets there. Number one, you said, hey, I'm running open houses, but I'm knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Right. Number two, you said, hey, when I'm talking to these individuals that are considering, buying that second home and coming down during the summertime, or during the wintertime to enjoy a little nicer climate, hey, make sure you talk to your friends about this, because when they come back here, they're going to want to spend some time here, and you're planting that seed for them. And those are words of wisdom. But I love what you're talking about here, as far as, make sure that you're putting yourself in a financial situation that you can enjoy your life.
Right.
What a novel concept.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, it's funny. She gave us so many good nuggets right there about what leads to her great success. Yeah. So, Leonor, let me just ask you, because you and I've talked about this a couple of times, but as a realtor and just an overall awesome human being, what are your strengths that you see in yourself? When you look at yourself, I'm really good at X, Y, and Z.
Hey guys, it's Devin
and David.
We're your real estate success partners. Hey, if you're enjoying these podcasts and want us to keep bringing back this content, we truly appreciate you following us. But if you could go below and subscribe or make some comments, we'd truly appreciate it. And we'll keep bringing back great content in 2024.
I'm a problem solver. I because of my life up until now, I've changed. I've lived in many places, so I had to adapt and change. So I'm very used to change. Change for me is not as scary. Even for me, getting into real estate, if you asked me 10 years ago, what would I be? I didn't even know of Myrtle Beach at the time. If you would have asked me, what would you be doing? It wouldn't be real estate. It would probably be something else. So change for me is really easy, and I'm very good at coaching my clients into change, because change can be scary for a lot of people. So I try to be there for them. My clients are my priority. I don't really have a lot going on family-wise, so I tell them, I'm here whatever question. No question is dumb. I'm here for you whenever you call me, and they know that. And I'm determined. I don't give up easily. I don't know if that's a strength or not, but I'm very
that's strength. Yeah.
That was the word I was looking for, because when you and I talked previously a couple times, one of the words you used was determined, and I think that is a extremely undervalued characteristic of a successful realtor, but anybody, just a successful person in life. Because, we're always going to get knocked down. And the question is not, how many times we get knocked down, but how many times we get up. And like you said, we take a adverse situation and find a solution. And especially for our clients, that's what people are looking for. They're looking for relationship builders, right? We talk about that all the time. The most successful real estate agents that we've talked to in the industry, and they build relationships over years upon years, and it ends up leading to sometimes doing transactions for 2 or 3 generations of people in a family. So I mean, congratulations to you on that. So.
Well, talk about determination. One of the things that you said that I really admire was I don't really look at my numbers.
Yeah.
You know what that means? It's not about the numbers.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. It's about helping people. And so that's another quality, that you probably know, but maybe you don't always give yourself credit for, is you're passionate about helping people and helping people, find the perfect home and doing what it takes to make that happen. And not everybody has that quality, but the great agents that we've met, that's a quality that a lot of great agents carry, right? Is that you're not doing it for the monetary value. Sure, that's nice to have a paycheck at the end of the day. You're doing it because you love it. You're doing it because you love the people, right? Would you say that you love helping clients get into homes?
I definitely do. And I mean, especially you being in the lender, Clint, you being in the lender world, you know that we deal with a lot of emotions for our clients. So that's what I love. I love to be able to be in situations where my clients don't know what to do, and I can have the resources to tell them, hey, I have the answer for you. So sometimes we have clients that don't want to listen to us, but I thrive for the ones that do, and the ones that at the end we get to have a success story. And at the end of the day, the smile in their faces is what drives me. At the end of the day, the relationship and the fact that they said, you really helped me even when I didn't know I was going to make it through this. You knew we were. And I said, I did. So.
Well, let me ask you another question. That determination, that's got to be stemmed from somewhere, in your childhood or somewhere along the path. Where does that come from? Where does that driving passion come from?
I would have to say probably my mother. She's very determined, borderline stubborn, and she's a very strong woman. So for sure. And I think my culture too. Spanish women, I believe that they're very, very strong and very determined. A lot of them are the ones that carry the family. And, I'm not saying the husbands don't, but, they are in my family, that's how it was. My mother was the head. And I'm used to seeing that. So I don't really see a situation where I don't have that, but I have a choice to be not determined or to be weak. No matter what, I know I have to be strong. So, I mean, that's how I moved here. That's how I moved here.
That's awesome. You said earlier you had a business in Martha's Vineyard back in the COVID days, right? I'm curious.
It was not just my business. I was running it with someone else. It was a charter business. We did tours around the island of Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, nice.
So we had a couple boats and we did tours. That's where my drive, because I mean, if I was to tell you everything I did, we would be here all day. But that's where my kind of like my wake up call for, oh my God, I really love this. I used to drive the website, the marketing, the administrative part, the relationship with the clients before they got on the tour. So that's what I did before. And that's when I realized, oh, I really like this. And when that ended, I was like, oh, I want to do something that gets me in front of my clients and I can help them. At the time, what I helped them was create memorable vacations and memories that they never forgot. Now, my job and what I try to do for my clients is not only help them find a home, but make that experience memorable for them so that they can remember it as, oh my God, that was such a great move. It was a good idea versus, oh my God, I don't want to go to Myrtle Beach.
I think there's 2 words for that. Yeah. One's entrepreneur, and the second one is people pleaser.
Yeah.
She's always trying to make people happy.
Yeah.
There's not enough people in the world like her that do that.
Determined to make people happy.
Determined to make people happy. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And that's why you keep having the great business, right? The people want to come back again and again and again, and they want to return their friends and their family because you're going to give them a great experience. And that comes from touring in Martha's Vineyard, right?
Yeah.
Or your tour across the United States. But she also said this in the beginning, I got in this industry because I also am a personal investor.
Yep.
And I wanted to utilize that wealth that wealth and knowledge to help others gain wealth.
Yep.
Right. So you're determined to help people find that wealth, and you're utilizing your own personal experiences to make that happen. That's a special thing. That's a special thing. So we need more people like you out there, Leonor.
Yeah.
And I'm also learning along the way. I didn't know everything I know now. So every client that I have, for me, is a lesson in many ways. I always end up at the end of the transaction, as much as I taught them, they taught me so much more. And that's the value in every one of my clients. And that's why I love real estate, because no transaction is going to be the same.
Yeah.
And that can drive a lot of people crazy, but I like it because it keeps me going. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me wondering and curious as to how can I solve this puzzle now with this new person.
Thrives on the chaos. Well, Leonor, as much as we want to keep you here all day, we know you've got something to do here in literally just a few minutes. So we're going to give you an opportunity. Is there anything we should have talked about today that we didn't get a chance to talk about? Any message you want to get out there to the world?
I don't know. As simple as I'm here if anybody needs to know more about real estate in Myrtle Beach. If you have any questions, no question is a dumb question. I'm more than happy. Whether you think you're ready, you're going to be ready, you're thinking now, you're thinking in a few years, in a year, it doesn't really matter. I'm more than happy to help you and guide you through the move and the process and be your resource. And the one thing that I'm going to have to tell you is that you're not going to get rid of me, because at the end of the transaction, I'm still going to be here for you. So that's my message.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, when the folks out there want to find you, we know you're in Myrtle Beach. You represent the surrounding areas. We also know you're bilingual, so let's make sure that we talk about that too, because you can serve both communities. And let's deliver some information on how we can get in touch with you. And let's do that in English and Spanish. That way you can talk to both of your spheres out there. When the folks out there want to find you, Leonor, how do they get in touch? Because this is the best way to find you.
Probably my phone number. My phone number is my personal number. Even though my broker hates when I say this, but I'm available all the time. Whenever you have a question, you can reach out to me directly. Send me a text message, call me. My phone number is 954-488-0243. And if you want to check out, if you want to know who I am, if this video wasn't enough and you want to know more about me, you can definitely, you can find me on Google, Leonor Miranda Realtor. You can see my reviews of clients that work with me. And if you want to find me, I also have an office. So everything is going to be right there in my Google, my business profile. I'm an open book. I really don't have anything to hide. So whatever you want to know, I'm here for you.
Run that back in Spanish.
Para mi comunidad hispana, para cualquiera que necesite información acerca de cómo comprar una casa, qué necesito, qué documentos necesito, estoy preparado o no estoy preparado, yo tengo las respuestas para ti. Tú me puedes llamar al 954-488-0243 o si no hay un link en Google My Profile, Google My Business Profile, where you can link there to send me a message y irá directamente hacia mí. Oh my God, Spanglish. You know, sometimes I don't even know whether I'm speaking English or Spanish. I don't know. That is impossible. Sometimes I'm watching something and it just switches completely and my brain just goes back and forth. I don't know what I'm speaking right now.
Well, I
think they understood me.
I'm going to translate for you real quick. Call this lady. Call her. Because you're going to have a great experience. As you can tell, she's a tremendous amount of fun. She's determined. She's going to find you the right property. And she doesn't care how long it's going to take, right? She's going to leave no stone unturned to get you into that home. And you're not getting rid of her.
That's right.
She's going to stay with you after that transaction, and for good reason, because she's a great person. So, well, we appreciate that. And guys and gals, if you're watching the podcast, you saw that information come across the bottom. But if you're listening, hey, just go to the description, and you're going to be able to get Leonor's contact information so you can call her and get some tremendous service in English or Spanish or maybe both at the same time.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
Well, we appreciate you being here today. Clint, anything you'd like to say before we wrap this one up?
I just want to say, Leonor, it's been a pleasure. You're a rock star. You're going to be a future rock star. And and we appreciate your time. And if anybody needs to get pre-qualified so that we can get Leonor to help them find a house, you can always reach me and my team at www.therichiemortgageteam.com, or you can always call me at the office, call or text 972-656-0719. That's 972-656-0719.
There it is. And let me tell you something. Either way, you're going to have a great transaction, with Leonor and pair it up with Clint, because Clint's a great loan officer. In fact, Clint and I, we go way back and we work together. So, at the end of the day, I could speak to his services as well. Hey, Dave, anything you'd like to say to our guests before we end it today?
These dynamic duo, Leonor and Clint. Again, if you're looking for real estate in the Myrtle Beach area, there's only one lady I'd call, and that's Leonor.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a true pleasure. This has been my first experience in a podcast, and I don't think it could have been any better. Even with the delays or whatever, we still made it happen. I told you I was going to go at my neighbor's house and find a phone. I don't give up. That's one thing.
She's determined. I love it. No, but that, guys, what she's talking about, she had some technical issues coming into this thing. She tried phone, she tried laptop, and she got denied every step of the way, and we still got her here today with 1 minute to spare. So with that being said, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Wynn.
And this is Clint Ritchie, and that's Leonor. And if you want to check us out, come on over to therealestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's therealestatesuccesspartner.com. Or if you want to watch this one, and we think you should because you're going to love Leonor, come on over to YouTube. Check us out at the Dubuc team, or Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, the Dubuc team. You can find us all there. Like, subscribe, so we can keep bringing you great content from people like Leonor. Until the next time.
See you.